Hello and welcome to another episode of Square Up with GraySquare. We've got a couple special guests today brought to us by Mr. Jay Scott, so I will let him set them up and introduce them.
Some guest speakers today.
Yeah, let's get it.
Awesome. While I was online and doing some business development work, I was looking for strategic partners in the space that we operate in, which is direct sales, marketing, engagement stuff. And I came across this company called Energetics. Where these two entrepreneur-driven young women that I met named Eva and Kristin. So Eva and Kristin, welcome.
Oh,
easy.
I got a name change.
Listen.
We got a name change over here.
I've had a beer or two, so if something comes out wrong, we'll fault that. But Kristin.
Call her Tina, because that's how I always call her.
I've never had a problem up until this second by saying the word. But anyway, so I'll introduce you guys to Kristin and Eva. Welcome. How you guys doing?
Good.
It's great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Appreciate you.
It's good to have you on this nationally broadcast.
It's massive. This is about to go on some sort of syndication.
Thanks for inviting me to the basement of WeWork.
Right.
This is an awesome facility, all right? It's great.
There's going to be paparazzi outside once you're done with this. This is a big deal.
This is a big deal. I like it. It's definitely going to become a very large deal here shortly if we do our jobs correctly.
Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, you have like good guest speakers on.
Yeah, sure. So how about this, guys? Why don't you? That's true. So why don't you guys? We'll start off with you, Kristin. One's Crystal.
Wait, is it 9 p.m.? I go by Crystal after 9 p.m.
Okay, I get it. That's good. That was so great. All right, next up, that's one. All right, Kristin.
So our company.
Sure, please.
Right. So our company is in cost containment and utility procurement for large industries such as manufacturing industry. We also do local business as well. We have a nonprofit sector.
Okay.
And basically what we do is we look at what they pay bills for, their overhead. We look at where we can help lower that, and we use our software to future price, to look at different suppliers' rates, and really shop for them. So in doing so, we buy them time.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop business consulting service that you guys are offering.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anything you want to add? Eva? Oh, by the way, guys, Eva and Kristin are both co-founders of the company. So, I just want to preface that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we wanted to take the element of being an energy broker and energy consultant and put it into one company. And our goal is to just build long-term relationships with our clients. And like she said, it can be from local businesses up to, the industrial industry of very large manufacturers.
Gotcha. So if anybody that's listening right now wanted to find information about your company, where can they find it at?
So we have a website. It's just energetek.biz.
Energetek.
Energetek,
gotcha.
Energetek, because I have to spell it out all the time for people.
On the phone.
I get it.
They're like, is there an I in there? No.
Entered. No, that's not it.
So I'll ask you, so how did you get into this line of work? How did you get into, opening up your own business here?
Question number one.
Well, I guess there's a couple different reasons why we went into business together. So me and Tina actually worked together for probably just under 3 years. We were at a company and we were running their commercial, entire department.
Commercial energy?
Yeah, it was commercial energy was the main focus. We did solar and same services we have now, refunds, things like that.
Okay.
So being at that particular company, if you can't see yourself being able to grow and the company is not giving you the tools in order to do that, you kind of know you have to get out. You have to do something else.
Sure.
So that's, thought about it for a long time. We were already making all the partner relationships ourselves, getting the clients ourselves, doing the market research. And it just made sense to take what we learned over those 3 years and have full control.
Fair.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so relatable. I mean, Jay, myself, Tim, some of the others here, we had such a similar story.
Same exact story.
We worked for, in our line of work, on a big, large national brand, national agency, and from what we felt like, and it seems like what you felt like, you hit a certain point where you know the ins and outs. You also know what the next 20 years would look like if you hang out there.
Oh my God.
And you have to hit that point of like, am I upset now that the secret's out there? I know how the business works. I know who's getting the money and all this. Am I comfortable with the complacency of this, or do I just gotta bail and do my own thing or get somewhere else? So that's so cool that you guys did that.
You become like more like introspective too, because like what you just said, you just really have to have a conversation with yourself, being like, where is this going, and do I see myself going there too? And when those goals don't align, like you just know that it's just off track. And I think the way that she was nice about it, to be honest with you.
Let's get really real.
We laughed and we were like, we're going to stick to the man, we can do this ourselves and better.
Well, if
we did like a bunch of tribal chants, we didn't. We didn't, but
I mean, if we could be just as candid, I mean, to be honest with you, when we separated from our partnership, we were like, we had the same mentality. It was like, you know what? Not only did we feel like we were being underutilized or towns were being underutilized, but we also felt like we were getting hosed a little bit with regards to how much money we were really making. We were doing all the work. Are we really getting any sort of profit off of this that we really deserve? Yeah. And the answer to obviously all those questions were at the time definitely not. And that was the intention of us starting what we had going on. Was really about, attracting sharp, motivated young people that through their own drive and ambition get themselves to the next level as fast as possible. But obviously that comes with a lot of risk,
Totally.
And
all the risk.
That comes with 1,000% risk. Yeah. And that's when you have to, I think, make sure that you trust in your own work ethic, and you also trust in your partner's work ethic, and say, hey, we can do this. We can do this dance, but are you in or not? What's really going on here? And I think it's awesome you guys found each other. And now that's pretty badass.
I'll ask you guys this that's really not on the list here. So by the way, first off, how long ago was this for you guys? Like,
our official launch was January 1st.
Nice.
So it's only been about a quarter.
That's awesome.
But when did...
Well, we, obviously had to put some thought into this.
Sure.
You can't just decide. You can't just decide when you start your own business and then you do it the next day. Yeah. And we, a lot of thought went into it. Yeah. Probably, there was a good amount of time. I don't know the exact amount of how long we were planning it for.
Sure.
But it was good for us because we were already in the business and we had the relationships, so we just needed to move them to a different spot.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's what we did.
So what do you think? Like, what's been the biggest challenge so far that maybe you didn't see coming? Is there something like that where you're like, because like I know at least as sort of the entrepreneur, you get that tunnel vision where you're like, nothing can stand in our way, right? If we remove these barriers, it's literally just sprinting to the bank with no obstacles. What's something you've seen so far that's been like an interesting challenge? Do you have something like that?
Well, I would say no one is telling you like the actual what's going on to how to set up a company.
Sure.
I mean, whether you have to do stuff with the state or you have to work with your lawyer, you need to get all this stuff in order to make it fully function. And what we learned, I think, from the company we were with before, who didn't prepare enough at all.
Right.
I don't know if that's mean, but
it's not mean at all.
It's being
we learned what
if it's any consolation, we ran into the same situation.
Like legal documents. Like we have a legal document for literally every agreement, whatever partnership, literally everything's on paper, and it's all like revised and looked at by a lawyer. And we did that per per our experience. But no one gave you a crash course in college on how to start a company, and that's what you just figure it out. That's all I have to say.
That's so much of it. I mean, again, working for a large business, you look back and you're like, there's certain things they got to keep for me to keep their own value, right? Like if they're not providing anything at all, they have no value at all. I can totally see where you're coming from. That's really interesting.
I think staying organized was what we have to do. And Tina, always says this about me because I need organization, keep things in track.
Things are color coded, and that just makes my brain explode.
Not me. It warms my soul.
I I was going to say that. You know what's ironic about this is when I met both of you guys for the first time, this is the same dynamic.
Dude,
I believe.
She got my calendar.
I believe that you and Tim it's the same dynamic that him and Tim had. He's Tim has become a lot more organized as the years have gone on. Obviously, he has to, but he's always been this way.
Yeah,
and it's the same sort of thing where I am just like you.
Yeah, tell me where I have to be.
I'm the guy who just pops in the room. I'm just stealing energy from everyone, and I'm just off the cuff, and then I have to go back and try to. And then they're like, wait, hold on one second. What the hell's going on? Well,
sure.
Is there any sort of structure in place to what's happening next?
No.
What the hell are you talking about? Like, in the reel back in.
You don't need to know. Yeah,
exactly. I got it. We'll figure it out. But
I mean,
awesome.
we learned the hard way a couple times, many times, that if we weren't organized and like had all this stuff in order, we would have been screwed.
Yeah.
So, and learning all this stuff within your first quarter doesn't happen.
Right. No, facts.
Yeah, we literally had a third partner before we launched.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I read that in your blog.
She went
We went through a dissolution partner. We went through reading contracts, signing them, and then getting out of them with other situations.
Well, sure.
But we learned so much. So it was not fun,
right?
But we became way better business lawyers
still. But she's right.
That's the stuff you gotta that's the stuff you gotta be ready to take on. It's crazy, but it sucks that it happened to you, but at the same time, I guess you guys learned a valuable lesson and what to do and what not to do moving forward with regard to bringing in a partner.
Yeah,
I think what I can say for we're a couple years into this venture here, and I think what I can say is there's always that just big boulder sitting in front of you that you have to move. And whether it's setting up infrastructure, whether it's certain programs that are challenging, whether it's certain markets that are beating you up, certain clients, or the case may be. There's always just as soon as, at least in this industry, in my opinion, once you get out from under one. You get a week to kind of coast and kick your feet up, and then it's just another one.
Absolutely. No, you're 1,000% right, dude. Like once we figured out one thing, something else came, and it's something else. What did you say?
I said, when will we be able to coast?
Yeah, right.
I don't think you ever coast, to be honest with you. I think you start getting more.
You want more, and you want to do more, and develop more, and create more, and just. Yeah. You're right.
Another challenge too is you never really think it's good enough what you've done.
Yeah, you're constantly
until you talk to someone that doesn't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Right. For where we're at, I've always felt I can sit back and complain about how we should be 5 times bigger than we are today.
Sure.
And I felt that since day 2.
Yeah,
day 1, I'm day 1's cool.
This is
set some stuff up. Day 2, I'm why aren't we 5 times bigger than we were yesterday?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I don't think that ever goes away. So I think you're always in this, I feel if we were $100 million company, I'd be man, this is bullshit. Why are we
not making
so much better?
Right? I agree.
It's just the entrepreneur struggling.
And that's a good thing, though. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you're driven to the next level, I think, or going towards the next level because you're constantly trying to innovate, change, do whatever.
So I have a question. What thing in your mind that you can sit back and you can finally say you've made it?
At what's the benchmark?
Yeah, what's the benchmark?
I've got one for me personally.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Personal, because I know hers.
Yeah, this is this is deep for me. When I put mom and dad on the payroll, right, and have them just do nothing at all, and just kind of be able to sit back and enjoy life. I think that's when personally a big weight's off my shoulders, and I've at least personally made it.
Right.
I think for the, everybody's got their when I get the yachts and the Ferraris and all that type of in the big house or whatever, and that's all cool stuff. But I think for me, that's the very first,
Sure.
I did the thing that I wanted to do at 19.
And that's very noble of you, because mine's going to be very, very not noble. And this is I have family, all the case may be, I get that, and I'm definitely going to take care of them. That's
secondary.
It's independent. It's just that I think my definition of success is different from other people's. You can be morally successful, you can be financially successful, but if we're talking about financially, personally, I want to be able to simply drop everything, pick up and go wherever I want on the planet, and do it for a month without thinking about it. Like my lifestyle doesn't change if I'm not here for 30 days doing work. Now there's a finite number to that. You know, let's say if I wanted to go to Switzerland tomorrow and just like landed, not going to be here
for a month,
for a month, and it doesn't affect my lifestyle to do so. I want that sort of financial freedom, and I can pick a place anywhere, just throw a dot on a map and hit it. And say, guess what? That's where I want to go for the next 30 days and just decompress. I'm being serious. It might be pompous, it might be whatever, but I think that there's a certain thing there's a number to that. Yeah, and I think that's.
You're like, I'm gonna have my birthday party.
Yeah, and I think that's not only baller as hell. I think it makes you know that I have made it. I have made it. I can do what the hell I want. When I want to do it, and my lifestyle doesn't change by doing that action.
Yeah. Well, one person that I can think who has that, so I'll give a little shout out to our advisor.
Okay.
Kevin Johnson from Edge on Demand.
So Kevin, we disclose this always. The first one's free. Any more plugs? Yeah, that's going to come at a percentage.
We sent an invoice.
We sent an invoice. But go on, continue.
So, we were just talking about this, I don't think too long ago, but he runs a great, successful business. Sure. He's extremely involved in his company, knows what's going on, but he also has the freedom to, if he's going to go to Colorado, with Utah, okay, with his family for a week, for however long, or go somewhere in Europe, wherever. Yeah. He can go do it, and his business is still fully functioning, and he is on top of it.
Exactly. That's a very sort of.
He literally leaves on like a drop of a dime, and he's like building this house in Tahoe, right? Yeah.
I've been to Lake Tahoe, and that place is quite nice. So Kevin, well done, sir. Keep rocking out. Because I've been to Lake Tahoe. It's amazing. I was in Reno for about a month, way a long time ago. But it's beautiful. Yeah, that's cool. So, what's your success?
So mine, I think, is at this point, to say that I really made it is to look at my company and know that it's sustainability at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's just something I made that is an actual legacy that I can literally pass on. Right. Yeah. It can be replicated every which way, backwards, forwards, and just creating actual careers for people that want to stay with you. Yeah. Like creating a work family. I think that you can take a step back and look at it and be proud of building a team organically.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What do you got?
We're
clearly going.
I already know hers.
I feel like yours might be kind of like me. For some reason.
She is.
Because
go ahead, drop it, girl. Drop it. Drop it on the table, let it out.
We already talked about your way style or something. I think we're on the same page. So go on.
Well, first I have the noble one.
Sure. I'm not an asshole. Of course I'm taking my parents.
Whole family's going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have gone last to make everybody feel.
Yeah, right. I'm like you guys. I give a shit about my family.
Let me fill up too. I need another beer. Yeah.
So I have the noble one.
Sure.
Taking care of the family, being able to live comfortably.
Sure.
And so the one that Tina was mentioning is I've always said I want to be in the Forbes 30 under 30. That's and if I don't make it on that one, I'll make it on another Forbes list.
Right.
Yeah, that's my public.
That is
one.
You know what's cool about that? That's tangible. That's the definition of a SMART goal. It's you can actually see that. I have to do X in order to get there, and that's awesome.
I used to
Forbes. You heard it here. Forbes.
Literally,
it's either Forbes or bust. That's a goal right there.
Oh no, yeah.
That's good.
I used to have a subscription to Forbes magazine just as an exercise, as a sort of a self reminder. I'd get the magazine in the mail, and then I'd be like, okay, another month I wasn't on the cover. Got to get back to work.
Right.
I like that.
That's tough.
And then I'm spending money on this exercise.
But just look it up online.
Yeah, right. I get it. I'm not there. I'm not balling it.
Awesome. So let me. I guess I'll dive into our next question. We have a few to go over with you guys. So let's say you're out in Center City, Philadelphia, even though you're from Jersey. All right, you have a night on the town, trying to blow off some steam. Eva, I'm gonna start off with you.
Okay.
What is your cocktail of choice? What is your drink of choice to decompress? hang out, socialize. What's your ideal signature drink, I should say?
Set the stage.
Here's the other thing too. We should have asked this before we recorded, so we could have provided these drinks here.
Facts.
Instead of drinking beer.
Next time.
First of all, this craft beer is good, but you're right. We
got to be better hosts. But go ahead.
So if I am
your signature, what's your go-to? I'm gonna catch you stumbling somewhere. What you gonna hold in your hand?
Okay, well, it's usually the Jameson ginger. That's
nice.
what I like. But if I'm like
guys more every day.
if I'm and me and Tina share this,
okay,
and I'll let her. Well, she can say it as well. But if we're like out at a nice dinner, upscale bar, it's always like an extra dirty martini, and it has to be really cold.
All right.
Sometimes
there's something wrong
not
here.
cold, and then it's not okay.
And like dirty, the dirtier the better.
Yeah,
bro. Like this
love the olive juice.
Yeah. But we do drink a lot of wine.
We do drink a lot of wine.
Yeah.
But that's not the stage for what you just...
I was about to go in order, but I'm just getting more and more excited about knowing you guys because I'm a beer guy. I mean, obviously, I'm out watching the game, drinking a beer. But I am a sucker for Belvedere martinis. And they need to be extra dirty.
See, that's weird. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got you. We got you.
Jesus, this is getting weird now.
But also really cold.
Extremely cold. It has to be cold. Yeah.
This is not.
I love you guys. Let's go. Let's keep rocking on. You guys are awesome. Every time I talk to you, something else comes out. So yeah, that's me. I didn't mean to jump the line, but
yeah, there's no.
I'm Belvedere, Belvedere specifically. Belvedere and make it extra dirty martini. Definitely shaken. And craft beer, IPAs. That's where I'm at.
You want to go? You want me to go?
I'll go. So I'll give you 3 categories. If I'm networking, I'm going to be drinking white wine.
Sure.
If I'm out with my friends and I know it's going to be a long haul, it's going to be a Captain and Ginger Ale.
Okay.
If I'm with Eva or yourself and it's just the right time, it's a dirty martini. Yeah.
Like it. Nice. There's levels to this.
There is levels. It depends. It does depend.
You guys are all so classy, and I'm just not. So
Jack.
Jack Daniels, Tennessee whiskey.
He's from Nashville.
Yeah, I grew up in Tennessee, so if I'm drinking whiskey neat, I prefer Gentleman Jack, which is like traditional Jack Daniels, but just Jack and Coke, Jack and Ginger, Ginger ale is such an underrated soft drink, by the way, which that's a full podcast.
That's a full conversation, because I drink that like it's like, that's refreshing. Like I wake up, if I drank too much the night before, it's refreshing to me.
Yeah.
Like it wakes me up. I feel like
ginger is good for your stomach.
It is, but this is like my grandmother.
So my mom's.
And now this all starting to make sense.
Yeah.
Like good, it's great.
The only time I drink ginger ale now is on a flight. Okay. For some reason, I remember when they're giving out drinks, like, oh yeah,
ask for ginger ale. Yeah.
Every flight, ginger ale.
But that's it.
No, I have another. I'm gonna give this full category. Either Jack and Coke / just whiskey, or very, very fruity cocktails. The fruitier, the better. Yes, absolutely.
I
did not see this coming out.
No one does. No one else.
Wait,
which one exactly? Your go-to fruity cocktail.
I don't even know any. Is that bad?
I know Cosmo just because that's a common thing.
Here's how fruity I like my drinks, and I'll stereotype here. If I see like a bachelorette party, I'm like, I want what they're having. And I'm completely shameless about this too.
Oh my god!
So I've seen him drink some stuff. I was going to call him out on nothing, but because this is my boy.
Like a Long Island isn't sweet enough for you.
No, not.
Do you like?
Close.
Well, I guess.
Nah, you don't drink fruity drinks.
No, I don't. That's why I
like vodka tonics. That's the closest to fruity I'm getting. I like vodka tonics a lot.
Anything.
Like a.
Yes, whatever you're thinking.
So you would love Secrets.
Bubble gum,
Jamaica,
whatever.
USA.
Like
Seagram's gin, like in the
Secrets, like Ocean City, Maryland.
Secrets.
They have the fruitiest drinks I've ever heard in my life.
And you can drink it in the water on a tube and just.
Yeah.
I definitely did a Secrets. I thought you said like Seagram's, but that you probably
Secrets. It's all slushy and fruity.
I'm talking about the Seagram's wine coolers. Do you like those? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I've had those.
They're like pink and...
You're from
the South, and I don't like tea. That's another anti-selling point about me. One, I'm a grown adult man who puts sugar on the rim in a margarita. Two,
always salt.
It's always salt. It's always
for me. It's not. Two, I'm a Southerner who doesn't drink tea.
Listen,
well, how do I have friends?
No tea at all.
No tea at all. And here's the thing, right? So, have you guys been down south? Have you visited the South?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to tell you the challenge of being a Southerner who doesn't drink tea. So you're not allowed to just not drink tea, right? Like it's not, you offend people. And so as part of that, everyone's answer is, oh, you just don't like tea because you haven't had
my tea,
my mom's tea, my grandma's tea, my auntie's tea. And so I spent my entire life down south, and I also can't say no to people that well. Like, well, I can now, but like as a Southerner, you don't just, say no to someone. Whatever, right? Yeah. And so like I spent all this time drinking everyone's variety of tea,
just hating it, like right. So, like, sure.
I'm like, here we go. So like, think about. I want you to appreciate my struggle. Think about a food item that you just don't like. Food, drink, whatever.
Sure.
And imagine every time you met new people,
they're forcing you to.
They serve it to you, and you're just like, I don't want this. I know.
This is great.
So I feel like everybody has their own struggle that they go through in life.
I knew about the free. I knew about the free drink thing because I've seen it a couple times sneak off in a bar.
Some people grow up in rough neighborhoods. Some people have tough childhoods. I did too. I had to drink sweet tea when I didn't like it. Sometimes, occasionally. I'm so full of shit. I'm sorry, people.
This is
funny.
But yeah,
I didn't know that, and I've known this cat since 2011.
But I do love food drinks. Everybody knows that. Like we'll go to. I remember specifically this one bar we went to on South Street, Copacabana, whatever. Yeah, and they had a happy hour.
I hope it's closed.
Copacabana, yeah.
No, it's still open on South Street. Like Second and South, next like James Road.
There's a lot of bars out there.
Yeah, and they had a happy hour where it was like you could either get, for $5 you could either get like a beer and a shot, or strawberry margaritas.
Oh, a beer and a shot. That's called the
Citywide.
Yeah, Citywide.
Okay,
yeah.
Philly.
And so on South Street, it was either you could have the Citywide special or like a strawberry margarita. And this was at the time when our office was all men. It was like
I'm embarrassed
30 guys,
for you.
right? 30
My feet started to sweat.
Right.
And so like I like a beer as much as the next guy, but not as much as a strawberry margarita. So I'm like, and they served it in like the little like the martini glass or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that nice water. We gotta edit that out in case they listen. They're not gonna listen or if it sponsors.
I just can't believe you're about to say what you're going to say.
He's very passionate about this, and I've learned to love him because of this. 29
grown adult men with their beers and shots, and I'm just like, this is so good.
But you're the person that I would literally Snapchat to my friend and be like, look at this nerd.
Look at this clown, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm just so fine with it. I just care.
That's what happens.
You got to just own it. That's all
you get to the stage where you just not.
If you do own it, then I guess it's fine. I mean, what else are we going to say about it?
Right. Again, I also, I'm a craft beer drinker as much as the next guy. I drink whiskey, scotch, whatever. But I love a nice fruity.
I love how this is now going out to the masses.
That's fine.
And the masses now know.
I drink this.
It doesn't matter how much.
Where's the intern?
I'm gonna be very blunt here. It doesn't matter how much shit you talk to Landon. He drinks fruity drinks. He's not gonna fight you. Mm-hmm. It's because he drinks dainty drinks.
Like a tequila sunrise.
Well, yeah, that's
absolutely
tequila sunrise. Yes.
Little tequila, orange juice.
He's not tough.
A little grenadine to make it extra sweet. Oh. Well, cherry.
Your hangovers must be like
terrible. Terrible. It's all sugar, bro.
I love it. I don't drink a bunch of. I don't like get drunk off of those types of drinks, but I like a nice.
You're gonna see him out. He's gonna have like a craft beer, and then he's just gonna have like a strawberry margarita on the side, just to sip.
All right, so there's I'm gonna find this. There's a picture of me on Instagram that I remember from that night with like the strawberry margaritas, and I was owning it. I'm gonna find it for you guys.
Jesus Christ. Well, while he does that and further embarrasses himself, we're going to move forward to the next question here. But that's outstanding. So, Kristin.
What's up?
What has been your biggest struggle? Well, I guess this is going to be both of you guys. Oh, God, he found the picture, and it's the most dainty. Oh, my God.
Your pinky is out.
I can't.
I know.
I can't.
Because it was
pinky
funny.
up.
People were ripping on me so hard.
There's a lot going on there, right?
A lot of sugar on the rim.
Yes.
Oh, God.
I really did this.
Kristin.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest struggle while building your... What is that? Turn your phone off. Say you're killing me.
It's not me.
Oh, it is.
It's your computer.
What has been your biggest struggle while building your client customer base, just in general? And I guess it's going to go to both of you guys. Like, what has been the biggest struggle with you guys growing your company, like short term?
So I wouldn't say short term. I mean, we've been at this for like a few years.
Sure.
But when your client base is literally every single business, like, and not even like, you know, we have a nonprofit sector, we have like a manufacturing sector, we have just a normal local business front sector,
right.
You know, we do restaurants, bars, like literally everything. It's really hard to just focus. It's hard to focus in on everything,
right.
Quote unquote.
Right.
You know what I mean? So really finding our niche, where I think that we finally have, is really working in the industrial
space?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The main reason being is that no one's going there. We're women in the industrial space, so that's...
It's like an oxymoron, yeah. And so,
they never see that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Contradicting the terms, yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So where you find an area where, you know, what you're doing is unique and the clientele are unique and you understand their needs and what they really need out of you, is where you're going to flourish. And I think that's where your company will really like take off.
Gotcha.
We don't necessarily like to limit ourselves though, because we do solar projects and we work with like a lot of churches, nonprofits, and things like that. But
finding that niche market it was the most difficult part thus far.
Really much so, yes, because it was just very hard to focus on everything.
Yeah.
You know, and just be very general.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, I think you have to. Thanks for everybody too. You have to find what you're good at and stick to it. And if you try to do everything, people say this all the time. You're not going to be good at everything.
Right.
So find where you're, I guess, what you specialize in, and target market that works for you. And I would say the other struggle is like we're in the energy space.
Yeah.
And we're also energy brokers, but brokers have a bad name in the industry. And that was, I mean, I guess a little history on it is when deregulation happened, you had all these companies come in that were just, you know, doing the bait and switch to all these companies. And then you never hear from them again because they probably got out of the industry at that point. And
or merged somebody's one, yeah.
So we came in, and being a broker is probably the biggest part of our business.
Yeah.
But we have to overcome that objection.
The stigma of it,
Yeah, like, oh, I had a bad experience, or, you know, I thought it was going to be lower, but then my bill doubled, and I don't know if I want to do it again. And we've overcome that a lot. We have a lot of clients who had a bad experience, and now they're with us instead. But it's just about how you... First, you have to explain why it happened to them, how we're different. Yeah. And it's good because, like, this is our own company, and we plan to stay here for forever.
Right.
So if there's a problem with the customer, like, they go to us, which makes us, you know, obviously everything we do, we're very transparent because they are going to contact us if something goes wrong. Right. So that's
I think that's awesome. Like you hit on a point there that actually sticks out to me, or it's something that I fundamentally, like, how do I say this properly? You said that you explain the why to the customer.
Yes.
That's something I'm very, very passionate about with any aspect of business. It's like, if you want someone to do something, you got to explain the whys behind it. And if you're not doing that, then you're not going to get the results you want. But that just stuck out to me because when I'm training my new guys, if I'm actually conducting field activity, customers don't do anything with me unless they like me and they trust me, right? So and that trust comes from explaining the whys behind everything. And I think that's really awesome that you said that, because it seems like it's a universal theme for people that are successful in any level of business. They're really good at explaining the whys behind everything, which...
Yeah. So like when we go into manufacturers, like we have to, and we're still learning this, but we need to know like their buzzwords.
Sure.
Within their industry.
How to speak their language, yeah.
Yeah, because we're talking to a controller of a huge manufacturing plant in animal oil.
Yeah.
Like we need to know like.
That's left field.
Yeah.
They're one of our clients.
Yeah.
All right.
That's one of our clients. Like we need to speak their lingo and explain to them why we can help them in what they do every day.
Right.
So.
Good stuff.
I'll tell you ours, in my opinion. Getting more beer.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
We don't have to be quiet about that. We're drinking because we have fun here. I think from our perspective, we've been fortunate enough to work with very large businesses like as our clients.
Yeah, Fortune 500.
Yeah, like just these massive companies. And when you get in bed with companies like that, the expectations and the opportunities are just crazy. Mm-hmm. We're actually opening an office down south for one of our clients in the next couple months. I won't say it because the ink's not dry yet, but once we do that, the expectation is very quickly ramp up, start spreading out all over the south. Right.
That's a lot.
Which is awesome. Just huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Same thing with our telecom companies up here. Some of the energy, there's just get started and boom, expand. Yeah. So I think our biggest challenge has not been getting the clients. Because like you guys, we came from some industry, with some industry experience, working for a big agency. You can just kind of, here's who I am, come in what I'm doing, come along. But I think it's just been managing expectations and trying to match the expectations.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. So dealing with these, large companies, Fortune 500, how do you manage the quality of the sale every time, dealing with a large, vast sales team?
Sure.
How do you make sure that you're constantly just bringing a hammer down on quality and ethics, I guess you'd say?
Yeah. Hiring people that are smarter than you to do it.
Okay.
So I think that's always the biggest thing I've heard in entrepreneurship is, your job as an entrepreneur is to find people smarter than you and then get out of their way, right? Let them operate. And for us, what that looked like is, getting people that understand how to manage compliance and quality and giving them the flexibility and creative control to run the department and then kind of go on what they say. The other thing is working very, very closely with the clients that we have. In our case, part of our catch, so to say, and our edge in working with us versus for some competitors is the quality. Is our very, very strict commitment to quality. And we have very open and honest conversations with the clients of this is why we are who we are. And this is something that we're not going to flex on. And so we'd like to work with you to be very aggressive on the standards here and on the expectations. And they eat that shit up, obviously.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, if you follow through on it, they work with you on getting you the information, the data, and everything that you need. And when you show that you're willing to take action upon that, even if it hurts your own pockets, you just solidify the relationship even more. Yeah. So how we do it is putting people in systems in place to manage it, explaining to the teams that this is the expectation of quality and integrity and things like that. And you can either live by those standards and get in on all the action of the good things that are happening here, or don't and get out of our way. And every now and then you get your bluff called. And if you stand true, you don't have anything to worry about. You just show hey, here's what we stand for, here's what we don't stand for, and people just they follow suit. They don't know what to do unless they're told what to do.
Very true.
That's very valid. I think to add on to that is what we've been very good at, which most people that operate in any sort of direct sales or direct market capacity, they think the volume of people they have is more important than the quality of sale, and so they're quick to keep a lot of people around versus focusing on the quality, which isn't good at all. We are very strict on our standards, and I don't care if it's our top performing agent in the company. If they're not performing to X level, we aggressively attack that person with regards to one, explain the why is important, right? To hit these expectations of the client, and two, take disciplinary action when necessary. Even just like you said, it might be not advantage or not good to hit our pockets, or it actually hits our pockets because we're taking aggressive action on somebody. But you have to be willing to enforce standards, and I think most people in our space, they don't. They might have large organizations, but the quality is shit. And that's why they can't pick up the phone and talk to the clients that we have right now. It's because they're more focused on volume versus quality, and quality is where
quality trumps volume every time.
Absolutely.
Because quality is a consistent and...
It ensures the customer sticks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a consistent and it's a residual sale.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because like if they believe in the product as much as you do and you present it in the correct way and the right way, they're going to re-sign.
Yeah, sure. Every time. Every time. Great question. Where are we at here? Because I walked in after filling up the pitcher of craft beer. I kind of came in halfway through right before here. Awesome.
Number 4. Yeah, introduce it. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you want to? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do it after I pointed you to do it.
Yeah,
fair. Eva.
Yes.
Favorite social media platform and why? Now, I'm very interested to hear this response for 2 reasons. One, obviously they're women.
Sure.
And I'm very interested to see your take on this and the justifiable reason of the why behind it.
Okay.
Let's make this a 2-parter, personal and business.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Cool.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Okay. Personal, definitely Instagram.
Okay.
That's the one that I use most.
Okay.
I don't have Twitter anymore, and I barely go on Facebook.
Okay.
And I don't have Snapchat.
Cool.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. No.
I was going to say we used to be friends.
Yeah.
No, like comes out. What we used to do is I guess we could say this now, is that we used to face swap with the face swap.
Yeah.
People in our company.
That's great.
And we'd be and we would do their lines and stuff like that. They would
my
say
face like Chris Johnson's body.
Right.
That part was good.
That part was hysterical.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't even know.
So personally, you prefer Instagram.
Instagram.
So on the flip side.
Yeah. So business.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, first, let me just say, because me and Tina do everything right now.
Yeah.
We split up the social media platforms.
Okay.
So I'm Instagram, she's Twitter, and then we both collaborate on LinkedIn.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I enjoy Instagram for business.
Right.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But to actually meet people and network, definitely LinkedIn.
Sure.
I mean, that's how we met you guys.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, Instagram is definitely built for women, I think.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just you just mindlessly scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll.
I agree.
But guess what? Okay, so I have a question for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you consider Reddit a social media platform?
I never use it.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my favorite.
Yeah.
If I want to veg out and just not think about anything and I want to end up in some wormhole in the weirdest place you've ever thought, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm going to go on Reddit.
Okay.
And I'm going to just sit there and scroll and read all of the comments until I can't read anymore.
Right.
Or fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do.
Interesting.
She asked me with
I
the craziest stories.
Oh my gosh, the craziest things happen on Reddit and I don't understand why people don't.
Hold on, let me look this up.
They don't
I
get it.
don't think I've ever been to the social media platform. Reddit? I've heard of it before.
Dude,
and maybe I've really breezed by it.
You
buy
probably
a dog on Reddit. You can solve a mystery on Reddit.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not as well versed. So actually, let me tell you.
Just crazy things.
You probably come across it, even Googling anything.
Right.
Reddit's going to come up on your first page.
Okay.
It's a forum. It's a forum for people to share their ideas, opinions,
Any
whatever.
topic you can come up with.
Anything.
Reddit is one of my main.
Oh yeah, okay, I've seen this before. It'll reference it.
Memes for memes?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I go down some of these feeds that are just meme-based feeds.
I think,
I get so much of my content.
Okay, I've seen this before, but it's not something
You should just read it. You can subscribe to a thread
obviously I'm going to do it. I'm just
that
following
you
it up.
like. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I feel like here's the thing. I'm sure this is amazing, but I feel like if I do this, I'm going to turn to the person I don't want to come which is the person always in my goddamn phone. Excuse my language.
But there's times where it's times when you're just like, you're laying in bed at night and you don't feel like watching something because like, or you're watching something and scrolling.
We listen to, we're like in, like murder.
Murder, true
murder. So like a lot of
like documentaries and stuff you guys watch that too?
I do like a lot of podcasts on true crime. So they use Reddit a lot too.
Yeah. I was one of the first people to know that the Golden State Killer was like caught.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Oh my God. I was freaked out.
Yeah.
They've been looking for that like dude for
I have no idea what you're talking about. What is this?
30 years.
I'm so disconnected from news or anything like that.
Oh my God.
I've worked so much. Like,
no, I'm disconnected from the murder news.
Yeah.
There's so many unsolved mysteries that have been solved just by like the 23andMe or like the Ancestry.com and stuff like that.
Speaking of, I'm getting that kit tomorrow. I'm sorry. I'm excited about that.
All right. Well, I hope your uncle didn't murder anyone.
My little sister, check this out. My little sister bought me a kit. It's getting delivered tomorrow to my house. She said,
proceed.
I don't know why I'm so excited about it. I want to know where the hell I'm from. And it's a 23andMe thing. I don't know. That's all.
All right.
I just got excited because I'm getting.
I just don't want to be accused of like.
I'm good. You can find out
You're literally sending your DNA to the government.
Yeah, you are though.
That's cool.
Wow, you really haven't done anything.
What's going on? I've done a lot, but like. It's neither here nor there now. I mean, whatever.
All right. Well, you're gonna get busted for that carjacking from like 95.
Wait, I don't understand. So, what is it? What? How does that work? Why would
the government has your DNA?
Okay, so
but I haven't killed anybody. So who gives a shit?
Okay, you personally haven't, but like like your uncle's brother. Oh, well, that would be your dad. Maybe your other brothers. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be like your cousin, your second cousin, or whatever. They're like, oh my God.
So you guys are clearly these conspiracy
gave me this DNA, and now
you're the person that won't get like Alexa at your house because you think the government's going to come there and kick open your door.
I have Alexa in my kitchen, and she's not plugged in.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Why? Because you think the government's going to do what?
No, it's not because they do listen. No, they're literally.
Who cares?
I just don't want them to know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I think you guys are crazy.
And guess what?
I've had customers that work.
Your phone listens to you all the time. Like you're like, oh my God,
so I
want some Breyers ice cream. I guarantee you,
you're gonna get an ad.
Assholes, you're going to get a Breyers ice cream on your Instagram feed tonight.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's extremely ingenious marketing. I think someone figured it out.
Invasive.
Why?
And
why? If you're embarrassed by what you're saying, don't say it.
Oh, God. It's not embarrassment. It's the fact that I have no privacy.
Yeah, you do. Turn your phone off. Don't buy a phone.
Oh, dude.
Controversy brought to you.
No, I'm serious. I don't care. Like what the government here, it's designed for a reason to protect us. It's not used like, let me come find out who. I don't know. I think we just take it to a level where it's
you don't
not
think
that
it's
serious.
used against you to control your mind and what you're thinking in the social media that you see.
The social media that I say?
Yeah, all the articles, all of the things that you see that come up on all of your feeds.
I think that someone was very smart and came up with an idea to control marketing and media. I think I can't not hustle. I'm like, I wish I was that guy.
Yeah, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, who had like $1 billion lawsuit because he leaked everyone's private information that you did not say was okay. I don't know. Let's talk about how I had like someone from California literally took my credit card information because it was linked up to the Facebook Messenger app. And they literally made a card with
that's fraud. Okay, we're talking about fraud. We're not talking about the phone listening to me ordering.
Oh my God. Yeah, but it was used. He literally let that happen.
I don't know. I think we're going down the rabbit hole now. I think we're linking a bunch of stuff.
You'd be really good at Reddit.
All right, fair enough.
And it came full circle, and now it's your turn.
Sure, fair enough. No, you didn't finish. You said personally, like Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I love LinkedIn.
By the way, I love this. This is awesome.
I love LinkedIn because I can see people. I'm very visual. I think most people are. They want to know who they're dealing with, if they're a slob, if they're like put together, what their life is about, where they've worked before, things like that. And I think that's really important. And so that's why I like LinkedIn for business too.
Okay, so...
And Instagram, by the way, because your personal Instagram for business is very important.
Very true.
And you should keep it professional.
Very true. And we're learning that a lot as it stands right now. And just to increase our brand.
One of the things that we look at, I think, like in partners, I mean, we've looked up people's personal Instagrams and we were like, okay.
I think that's a very, very valid point. That's a very, very valid point. And we talked about this as a company, numerous times before. So personally, I grew up in the Facebook era. I'm 3-4 years older than you guys. So it was more like in the Facebook era. So I'm used to that. I'm getting a lot more in tune with Instagram now. But Facebook it's just a thing that I used to naturally open up.
I go to Facebook too.
It's just that's what I would do. Professionally, hands over fist, I'm deep in LinkedIn. Like deep in LinkedIn.
Well, you know.
Yeah, right. I've used it across like multiple industries though, and I've had a large level of success using it. That's why. So I guess I would still say Facebook currently, even though I'm starting to trend towards Instagram and understand the value of it. Before I used to use Instagram just to creep on other people. Now I'm actually using it for like business purposes. Sure. I think that's what everyone does. I'm blunt. I'll say it. But I can see the value in it. I understand the importance of using it, especially nowadays. Yeah. And if you can understand the effectiveness of a hashtag, if you understand the insights effectively, it can help grow your business dramatically. So that's where I'm at.
This is funny for favorite social media platform. I got called today a bad millennial because I wasn't on Snapchat.
Bro,
you're a bad millennial.
I don't touch Snapchat.
By a millennial?
I don't touch
a fellow millennial.
I don't tweet or use Snapchat at all.
Snapchat is if either of you was going to say that your favorite social media platform was Snapchat, I was so ready to shit on you. Yeah. I literally said that in the car. I was like, I will shit on them all day.
Come on, bro. No.
Because it is it's like almost like Generation Z almost, where they just need to know what everyone else is doing at all times. I don't have time for that. I don't care what you're doing. I don't have time. And yes, I get some of it's funny, but dumb.
It's not that funny.
It's not that funny. Like true life. Your life's not that funny, and it's not that great. So I don't want to watch it.
I think it's dumb.
I agree with it.
Sorry if you guys don't like me anymore. My friends that use Snapchat, I let you guys send me Snap. I never send anything.
No, nothing.
This is kind of stupid. But then I have to watch. It's kind of irritated. I'm like, how many times can I take a picture of myself with the uniform?
Unless you're doing it with your coworkers, like swap face.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And to me, also Snapchat, especially when you're doing it for like the selfie portion of it. This is something I'm adamant about. We're probably about to jump into a whole other line of questioning and answering here. Okay. But it just forces the narcissistic views that are already in place right now when you're just constantly taking pictures of yourself. And you know how I feel about this shit.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot.
You feel like heavily on this.
Like, no, I am like, I'm pretty sure someone's probably going to curse me the hell out probably in like 30 minutes after this because I'm saying this.
Yeah.
I am.
You're right though.
I am very, very, like when I see people taking selfies of themselves, I want to put smack in the back of the neck. This is me personally. Okay, this is me personally. And here's the reason. And here's the reason why. We're supposed to be capturing like life scenarios or life situations, right? How like what we've experienced in life. Yeah. The simplest like thing that I could say here is like I know what I look like. Why am I taking a picture of myself? It's for one reason and one reason only. This is me personally, okay? And I don't want anyone to be offended if you guys take a lot of pictures of yourself here.
We don't.
Someone's looking for validation. And it's being now like shoved down people's throat where now it's normal to act this way. And it's like, it's making us less
aware.
Society, less aware of everyone. Like people don't talk to each other anymore. Yeah. Like that's like when we interview people nowadays. It's like if I ask someone a question and they they can't even speak back to me. They don't have communication skills anymore. They can't hold a simple conversation. And you're a weirdo if you walk up and say, "Hey, what's going on today?" Like people like act weird when you're social.
Yeah, sure.
And doing shit like, "Oh, let's do a selfie," and then I pick up the phone to call people, and they're like, "No, just like text me." Like, no, I'm talking to you, bro. Like, why am I gonna text you?
Yeah, right.
Like, isn't that weird?
There's like a whole wormhole going down between like texting and talking.
Yeah, so let me take it back to Instagram. I don't want to offend anybody. Let me take it back to Instagram. It's just that it's freaking self-loathing. It's just crazy to me that people just walk around doing this all freaking day. I see if you're doing it with a friend.
I don't even see that.
Yourself for that many times, bro.
Yeah. So
there's just whole pages of like a girl like this.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the worst.
50,000 times.
The worst.
I'm like, what are you doing? It's
my problem is like when people choose to do it too.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but it's like if you're doing it during work hours, and I've had this problem with employees before.
Yeah, like, yeah. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, it's like you got the finger, you know.
I don't know. Maybe sorry if I offended
do your work at work. Don't take pictures of yourself at work constantly all day. You're wasting my time.
Yeah, I understand if you think your hair, if you spend some money on your hair and you want to show it off. I'm cool with that too, every now and again. But good Lord.
No one wants to see it. No, everyone's so tired.
And I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's just me, but every time someone takes a picture of food, it looks terrible.
Well, then, so I have a really good.
Your good food looks good. Actually, you know what's funny about this?
I make it myself.
And I'm not sugarcoating this either.
And I don't give a shit. So
I'll tell you. But like normally, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I just made steak and eggs," and it always looks like.
Oh my god!
Terrible.
I literally go to her.
Like even good food normally looks bad. I saw yours, and yours actually most of them that I've seen. Some are like, "Oh, it looks terrible."
Oh, that's good. I'll whip it up right now.
Not terrible. Not terrible. That was the wrong word to use. I don't know. Food just looks weird to me when people take pictures of it.
It depends if, like, so do you cook?
I can cook.
Okay. See, I, like, genuinely enjoy cooking.
That's cool, though.
So, you know, and, like,
I saw it. I've seen it.
Boyfriend eats good. That's what it is.
Yeah.
My favorite...
Oh, yeah. What's your... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was going to add one more piece to this. My favorite Instagram selfie is...
No, these look good. But here, let me give you an example. Like, these are good pictures. Most people aren't like this. But
most people are not like that.
These are good pictures. I'm trying to see one that I think was bad.
On my page?
I'm just going to tell you.
You're not going to find it there.
You don't have a lot of pictures. All these are very well done then. Okay, here's one. So.
Let me see.
So. Very high quality picture.
Yeah.
The picture's great, like with regards to clarity, but it looks like dirt.
It's a pot.
I guess, but it looks like, but it's brown. It looks like dirt. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Certain people, it's like, oh my god, look what I made up at home, and I'm like, that looks like some shit I would never feed my goddamn dog. Maybe it's just I'm sorry.
Oh, this is hers.
Okay.
Like it's terrible.
My favorite Instagram selfie.
I'm actually kind of shocked that I saw that was the only one. I think the rest of them were.
My favorite selfie is the one.
No, I will not be
doing My favorite selfie is the one that has it's just like picture of person in bathroom or just standing somewhere. But then there's background. No, not even that. But like where the caption is some very deep inspirational. Right. It's like, this is just a picture of your face. Why are we bringing Mark Twain into this?
I know exactly what you're talking about. It just be like them in the bathroom and they're talking about like life is a struggle, blah 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 blah, and you're like,
I hate you.
The picture doesn't match the caption.
All right, so my favorite is awesome. My favorite.
Come on, touch me.
So my favorite platform. I'm getting more interested in Instagram for business as I've tried to explore it a little bit myself for our setup and working with our social media person Catalina on it.
Shout out to Catalina.
Yeah, always shouts out to Catalina. Yes. And I think personally I like Instagram as well because this doesn't sound so great. I don't really care what people are up to for the most part.
Sure.
Because I know I only watch like 5 people's Instagram stories because you can predict the rest.
Right.
Like most people, it's like you were on the treadmill at whatever time.
Which means next picture will be you're sweating.
And then you made a grilled cheese sandwich and now you're at your desk. Like it's the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
But Instagram, key source of memes.
Key source for memes?
Key source for memes.
Oh, yeah.
Memes. So that's my level of interest in social media is I don't really get on Facebook so much anymore because you find out people who grew up with are terrible.
Well, me and her do all the time is we send like funny stuff. But our thing is there's so many accounts that show like really old historic houses.
Sure.
And what price they're going for.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can buy like mansions in like South for like 10 grand. I'm like,
yeah, right.
You can't do that here.
Yeah, oh, absolutely not.
Right.
No, but we'll send back like the historic houses and all these properties.
Right.
It's like, oh god, they're so cool. Like,
it's so terrible.
I used to live in Chestnut Hill, so I'm all over that, like all down Chestnut Hill or in Chestnut Hill. You live there now, like the whole area, Germantown or West Germantown, West Mountain.
I just like wander around there for hours, and like I just want to go into every house.
Oh yeah, I extremely get angry. I get angry very fast, and then I just leave because I'm like, this is amazing, and I don't have it now, and I'm pissed off. So
you also have the location of something else. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like you have to give and take.
I don't know, I'm
rather like where I don't know.
I'm a hater. I just immediately start hating. Like, damn, that's a lot of house.
Yeah, right.
He must be doing something shady. I'm out of here.
Let's jump into this next question. This is a good one.
Yeah.
We'll see if we have time for number 6. Let's jump into number 5 to get back to like a business topic. So you guys had brought this one up, and I really like it. Investors versus sweat equity. So if you could, I guess whoever thought of this one, give us what your intentions were here, like what you were trying to ask.
Okay. So to piggyback on like your, I guess millennials were kind of like on the thought train.
Yeah.
I think that there is just a stigma from startups. In the startup world, I'll say that like I just always see like someone looking for invest. Okay, so I'm on the app Shaper. SHAPR. Yeah. So I see all the time, like entrepreneur, blah blah blah, looking for an investor.
Yeah.
And I just can't tell you. And like we've actually come from someone in our company that. Is not with us anymore, that really felt very strongly that we needed an investor. Mm-hmm. And which way is it? Which way is the way to go? When you want to grow organically and, you guys have like an end goal, but how do you get there? I think there's 2 ways. You create your own money, you take someone else's money.
Yeah.
And you give them a part of your soul.
I'd be happy to start with this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I've always felt pretty strongly about this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from, I have friends in like the tech startup community where, getting OPM, as we call it in business school, other people's money, is very, very on the forefront. I think what people miss out on, they don't think about, is when you take someone else's check, you take their opinion.
True.
And you take their strategy, and you take their direction. You're letting a boss come in. You're letting another opinion come in. And what you have to decide, I think, is whether you trade your own vision in a lot of cases, in your own opportunity for that other people's money, so to say. There's, I think, where like my head is at is there's certainly a price where if I'm like, okay, I know for me to get where I want us to be, I'm another 10 years, probably maybe a little more than that of putting in work every day. If OPM makes that 1 year, I'm in.
Sure.
Right? At whatever cost that is. But if it just speeds it up a little bit to give me some more creature comforts, I'm not necessarily there. And I think too, people value their company based on what the market would tell them, as opposed to, what they really think it would be, right? So like if someone were to come
future valuations.
If someone were to come in and evaluate our business today, right? They would base it off of revenues over the past 2 years, and if there were debt on the business and assets and things like that, and then make a fair valuation and purchase based on that valuation. Maybe they give us a year of cushion, right? Which would be a totally fair offer. But in my opinion, if I'm someone who believes in my idea and I think that we have a good thing going, you purchasing 1% for $1 million, which would be an incredible deal today, I think I'm getting absolutely burned on that because I think my 1% is worth so much more. And I think that's the question that people don't answer. I think from like our perspective, the investor idea, I personally don't like it. I mean, we've had offers like anybody else would.
Yeah, but early on in the business, though.
Yeah, and
we also have a lot about it.
Yeah, but it's for some people and it's not for some people. Like, it scares me, but then there's people that are becoming, multimillionaires off like accepting this and getting their way out of things like that. Like, they exit a business or whatever, sell off to somebody. But I personally, I don't like it for what we do.
I was going to say that. For what we do, it's different. I was going to say, in the general scheme of investing, there's certain industries where I believe, unless you have already, a nest egg sitting somewhere where you have capital in the bank, you almost have to get investors. Like, there's no way, for example, there's a reason why Lyft has gone to an IPO now. Like, they're at the point where they need the private sector to invest in them because they can't grow anymore without a lot more capital. In what we do, there's definitely value in sweat equity. There's definitely a lot of value in sweat equity. I think there's a difference though also between investors and mergers. I really think that there has to be value being brought to both sides in order for a merger to happen. But investing, I agree 1,000% with probably what you're saying, and as well as what Landon's saying. Especially in this business, there is a fast way to get to where you want to be. Yeah. But it's really all depends on how much value you placed on speed. And is it about I want to be able to do a bunch of cool shit, or do I want to be able to control my company? What's the reason why you want to grow to X amount? Do you just want to have a lot of money, or do you want to do something special, or do you want a combination of the two? And that kind of comes into play as well, I think, personally.
I think that there's also an evaluation of yourself. At what point do you think that you can do it and you need someone else's money to do it?
Sure.
And I think that is something that, we have conversed about, but I think we've always agreed about, is that we create our own destiny, and we want to be fully,
in control. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. There's a reason why you started. At the same time, it's like, it takes a special person. Sure. You know what I mean? Whether to say like, okay, I want you to pay me for this idea and think that, and you like us, so you think that we will do well, and investing in yourself and saying, listen, balls to the walls, we have to do well, and like putting yourself.
Let me ask you guys this. Well, do you want to, I guess, think about or answer the question yourself personally?
The sweat equity. I think one, because we were already doing it in our old company. We had the offer from somebody when we first started to do the same thing we're doing now, but kind of under someone else, and they were going to pay us. But it was like, well, I just came from that. I'm not going to leave and then go do that same thing. Sure. We're leaving to do it ourselves.
Right.
Not to make it ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah. But you have to, if you're doing sweat equity, you need to be prepared for it. Like, we knew going in, we're not going to get a paycheck for at least a quarter. And when we do get one, it's not going to be that much. Yeah. But that was okay with us. And we knew that when we did have big deals coming in, that's going to just be reinvested back into the business. Sure. Yeah. So we're not just... And you know what? We're really good at budgeting. We're keeping a really, really low overhead. And you have to just be smart about it.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a lot of money coming in, you don't have an investor, just be smart about it.
Do you guys feel like there's a point or is there like a timeline or a time frame where you realize that maybe like I don't know how to get to the next level, so you have to bring somebody else in?
So, I mean, for us, if we're like beating our heads against the ground for like 15 years and we haven't figured it out yet, I mean,
and that's a really bad business decision.
Right.
Yeah, and obviously you're
some people are very prideful. Like some people, I'm not going to like admit that I have no idea what the hell I'm doing,
right?
Or that I've reached this proverbial glass ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, and I should probably say hire somebody or bring somebody in to help me do this.
Yeah, I mean,
is it number 15 years, or is it like, wow, like I mean, it's costing me more money and more energy to trying to figure this out myself, or do I say, hey, Landon, I know you know how to do this. Come do it for me in here. Because it gets me to where I want to be faster or quicker, or just gets me there in general. You know?
Well, I mean, I think one thing we said before is like you should always bring in people who know more.
Yeah, sure.
Bring them onto your team. So if it's going down that direction, then yeah, of course, it's going to benefit our business and they're better than us at doing whatever we need to do, then yes. Do we have a time limit? No, but I think that the type of business that we're in, right now I don't see us needing an investor. But I mean, we change kind of like not change our goal or long-term goals, but we're always doing trial and error, figuring out different processes. So maybe one day if we grow in a different direction, then but right now I don't see it.
Cool.
No, especially with what she was saying with like lingering like contracts, like clients that we had been talking to, like we have recently closed one of like those big clients, and like those are like $10,000 like $8,000 contracts, and like those are like larger contracts, even with like a solar deal for like a mosque that she's been working on for a year. It's like finally going into like installing. You know what I mean? It's like that's like even 20 grand. So it's like. With that, it's like we know what we're doing is lucrative. We needed to find the path to literally lead us right where we are right now.
Cool. Sure.
And I think that that's what our advisor did. He's an awesome dude. He wears his sunglasses at night.
Wow, exactly.
No, he literally wears sunglasses.
He must be from New Jersey.
He wears sunglasses. He has very sensitive eyes, so they're very blue. So like he like has like. He like wears sunglasses. I don't know.
But he's guy.
That's a good reason.
No, it's just funny. It just makes
that's a good excuse. I need to wear this. But you see how bright my eyes are. I gotta wear glasses.
No, he's great. But
I think we don't have investors, but we surround ourselves with the right people. So we have an advisor.
Sure.
We have a lot of partners that we work with, and they help us out with our business.
Good.
So we're just making the right connections and getting advice from them and guidance from them. So that's kind of, they're like almost our investors without any equity.
So I think we're all on the side of sweat equity in our industry.
I think the other thing that it allows you to do, like if because in an industry like this, profitability is not too far away. And I think you just kind of see like profitability is on the horizon, and pretty significantly. You get to a point pretty quickly where you decide like, okay, now that expenses are low, overhead is low, and things start to roll through, there becomes a decent amount of cash that's around. And I think you make that decision of like, do I pocket this, or do I reinvest it in the business? And acquire talent.
Sure.
Which that's a whole other discussion of like I'm convinced that putting $1 into your business is the best place you can put $1.
Absolutely.
You can't get that return on Wall Street or anywhere in the world, right? You can always get it from like yourself and your people. So you start to figure out like, if you're looking for an investor for the sake of anything more than their money, I think that's a foolish adventure for the most part, unless we're talking like Shark Tank type people. They can get you the exposure and partnerships.
Sure, exactly.
But I think just some average rich guy doesn't do anything. I think if you can.
That's facts. We came from that.
For your business,
we were in that situation before. So
I think with because if you look at it this way, the $5,000 a week in profit is not crazy for a business, and reinvesting that get you a $250,000 CEO from some big industry that that still works for you, right? But maybe smarter than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can get out of their way and let them run the business. Take a position to do what you're good at. Like, I'm going to give you an example of this, and I hope I haven't done this on like another podcast. This is my favorite example. So my dad is in the automotive industry. He has been in sales and service of like lifts that lift up your car, brake aligners, tire changes, all this equipment that goes to these shops, right? And so he meets these shop owners that, were just a guy who liked working on cars, was good at it, saved his money over 20 years, and then opened up his own shop. And now with his own shop, he's keeping up with the books, and he's running the business, and he's running marketing and advertising, when all he wanted to do was just work on cars.
Yeah.
He's a wrench turner. He's like that type of guy. And so what a lot of these people forget is you can run the business and just make your job doing what it is that you're good at. Right? You don't. It's not a sign of weakness to hire somebody to direct and to guide your business. One of my like long-term visions. I'd love to hire a CEO for this place.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I agree 1,000%.
Right.
You can still be the founder and pass and say, here you go.
Just keep.
What would you
money.
do? What is your role then?
Consultant.
Yeah, I mean,
what's your hat? Like, what do you personally like to do? Yeah, both of you.
My big thing. I love getting my hands involved on the day-to-day. I love meeting with new people. I love the operations. I love spending time with the campaign managers, the teams, the people driving the value, right? So if it were up to me, I would just bounce around and do that all day, right? Yeah. Entertain the troops, so to say. That would be my role.
But that is very crucial.
Right.
Very crucial.
Yeah, right. And as, if I were the acting CEO, so to say, I'm not doing any of that, right? No. I'm getting new clients. I'm doing
campaigns,
meeting with the board,
like that.
I want to be out there with people, right? And so I don't think, I would rather be the smart mechanic that just hires someone to run their business, and they just get to be a dramatically overpaid guy who works on cars. Yeah. Right? Because it's their business. Yeah. Like, I would rather be, maybe my job is worth only X amount of dollars in the scheme of things.
To be honest with you, I've been lucky enough, and I think with luck plus work ethic has gotten me to a position that I love.
Looking for channel partners.
Business development as a whole is client acquisition as well as strategic partnerships. And I love, I managed a sales team. I managed a large sales team. I've done all that. I've trained people to get promoted into leadership and management. Yeah. And I've done that before. And I was good at it. I'm a great recruiter. I know for a fact, not to my own horn, I just know that I'm good at it. I'm good at selling myself and my ideas, which that's how you should attract people. Yeah. But I remember going to Tim and sitting down and saying, hey, bro, I can take that path to success and I can be really good at it, but this is what I'm really passionate about. I like sitting down with somebody and saying, hey, this is what we can bring to you. And I like going out there finding like-minded people like yourselves and saying, hey, let's do something cool together. Which is a glorified sales guy, I guess, because I'm really I'm still selling. I think you're always selling. If you're an entrepreneur, you're always selling, and that's a term that's used synonymous with each other: entrepreneurship and selling constantly. Do I like developing people? Yeah, I get very passionate when I get in front of my team. Like when they're asking me personal goals, professional goals, I get amped up. Yeah, that's cool. But I like going to a room and sitting down and
how can we get bigger? When can we get bigger? Who do we get bigger with?
Exactly. There's something intoxicating that to me. And also sitting down with somebody who's very alpha and then getting them to realize that I'm alpha too, but I can also be beta when necessary. Because you have to, sometimes you got to get a little bit. And I think that's business development. You sit down with somebody and say, cool, this is the value that I can bring to you. Yeah. And you sit there and you listen a little bit. So it's very much, I'm intoxicated with the power of persuasion. And I think I'm kind of good at it. But it's because I've also failed 1,000 times at it. And I think I know how to approach people a certain way and how not to approach some people. But that's just because I went through a lot of trial and error. And throwing my ego out there, it doesn't ever work. Even though you want to be. But
yeah.
anyway. So I like doing what I'm doing. Consulting is always good because he's going more towards the consulting route. I think there's value in that. But I like what I'm doing right now.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I think like both of your roles suit you extremely well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
After we sit here roasting each other on conspiracy theories, yeah, we're doing comedy.
Yeah, well, since you're wrong.
I'll take that. Fair enough. Fair enough.
What about you guys?
Yeah.
Should we go for each other?
Yeah, go ahead, actually. Yeah. Tell me what I'm good at.
Please.
Well, because now you have to think about it this way, is that we are doing everything 50-50, and she brings the organization, and I kind of like bring the livelihood like to each other. And we just do it that way. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, like we have all of our responsibilities split 50-50.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we doing what we love all the time? No.
Of course not.
No, because there's just no way that would ever happen. Mm-hmm. But for her, she is, I mean, her title suits her well. She is the CEO for a reason.
Sure.
She keeps me in check, but also because of the fact that she is just very, very organized in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that she's very good at that. She's very good at managing our partnerships that we have. Because she has built them, mostly on her own, and she's good at maintaining them. They trust her, and they like her, and they like doing business with her.
Right.
Hair fluff.
Thank you.
But I mean, I think that and she's really fearless, to be honest with you. I will give her that. I'm not gonna cry, but. No, but really, she is the number one person, like, when we go in and there's just, like, this, like, warehouse that looks like it's, like, there's just trash thrown all over. She goes, we're going in, and I want a tour. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, sure. You know what I mean? She is just, like, one of, like, she's the fearless leader. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So she is very good at what she does, and she will be revered.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just I can be witty at times, and I just talk to a lot of people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I can talk to literally anyone at any given time.
I get
yeah.
completely.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So it's yours and
very similar.
Yeah. Very similar.
Very similar.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Tina's definitely the team builder.
Right.
That's what she's good at. Building the sales team, getting the right people, finding the right people.
Sure.
And I mean, even in our old company, like she did recruiting for a while too. Even the old company and company even before that.
Sure.
So she's just really good at reading people, figuring out where, like, what their good fit is, I guess.
Where they best align.
Yeah.
Sure.
Figuring that out for them. So I mean, when we were kind of divvying up, like, what should we assign to each other? Like, she's like going to be in charge of sales and the sales teams and figuring out who can run those and where and when. So, but like working together, like we work slightly differently, but it works because I don't think you really should go into business with someone who's exactly like you, because you're only going to be as good as yourself. Right. Because they're only as good as yourself.
Very, very valid statement. So something we definitely talked about.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can speak on this as well. I mean, we ran a podcast about this very similar topic about when you're starting a company.
I think the big quote from that was, if you and someone else are exactly like, one of you is
irrelevant. Yeah, absolutely.
Or just unnecessary. Maybe that's a better word.
Exactly. Yeah. It's completely unnecessary. This is all good shit. I like this because we kind of balance, I think, each other out a lot too, between me and Tim.
Yeah.
You guys have what, 5? 4?
There were we have a corporate team now, and then we have designated sales management team, and they perform their job at a very, very, very high level.
Okay.
They're very good at that, but we've now we're now in the roles that I think that best fit our individual characteristics and skill sets.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah. So you guys all have you guys stay in your lanes a little bit.
We try to.
Well, obviously they're all going to interconnect at one point, and recruiting is going to mesh with team building and meshing with a partner relationships because you're looking at your team and what can they use and blah blah blah.
Right.
But I think that you guys really found your niche, and that's hard to do.
I think when we started, it was the same thing. Like everybody just had 48 hats on. They were all running at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. And I think in a perfect world, in a perfect business, every member of your team does exactly what they're the best at and nothing else, right? In a perfect world, these are the things that you're amazing at and better than anyone. And that's all that you do. Yeah. So you maximize your value and your profitability. I think we've taken steps towards that. We're not there yet.
No.
But I think, I'm certainly a long way away from that. Tim's certainly a long way away from that. We still wear a lot of hats, and you do as well. Mm-hmm. But I think we've inched closer towards it to where we've gone from just a handful of people just bouncing around trying to make $1 or whatever to you've got a lane, you've got a lane. We're getting closer to that. Mm-hmm. But I think that's optimum that you try to go for. And it definitely takes some time. And more than anything, it takes money because you have to replace yourself with all these 8 different things. And every time you replace yourself, you take a hat off and you become better at what you do, which drives value. And that person is better at the task than you were at it. Mm-hmm. So then they drive value, and ideally they pay for themselves. And you can just kind of do this over time.
Move along.
And just do that over time.
No, you're right, bro. And you definitely have to have people that also understand that from the gate. I think we all had an understanding when we started GraySquare that in the beginning we were just going to grind. And we grind we grinded hard, very hard. And I think it was because of the client that we had at the time, which is a Fortune 13 company. And we needed to hit a home run. There's 5 of us, and we were going against a competitor that has 4,000 agents nationwide. And we're trying to come in that phase, make some noise with 5.
So you guys were doing sales.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
I remember being on location with this guy right here. We're just looking at each other like we never even pitched this product, or maybe we never pitched in this sales channel before.
Yeah.
And we're just like, all right.
It was like
we're running around and just saying whatever we had to say. Mm-hmm. And we
were fortunate enough to pull people from our old offices and our old companies and try to piece together the best you can, right? Yeah. And we took
around the corner.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We took people that were, not really only a couple were still in the industry, but a lot of these guys had, bounced around different directions.
Yeah.
These pretty high paying jobs out there with these companies. And we were like, listen, if you're in on this, we are for an indefinite amount of time, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Doing the groundwork, so to say, every day, nonstop, and we have to outperform at this. And we don't know when that's going to end. Mm-hmm. And if you're in, you can get in on all the action on on the upside of it. Mm. But if you're not willing to do that, then you can't hang out. It's not what we need right now. You have to be.
We lost people.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
We
not everybody's down.
Yeah, I think everyone was down for the idea.
The idea sounds great.
Yeah, when in theory it sounds great, but when you're grinding for 7 days a week, it's like,
we lost one guy.
We get it.
And to be honest with you, I still love the kid. There's nothing I don't think wrong. I think he realized that it was. He thought it was going to be easier than it was, and he wasn't ready for the obstacle that he personally ran into.
Yeah,
and
that's entrepreneurship. That's it. Either there's not you're not allowed to have an average work ethic and still be the entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. You have to be fully insane and fully committed. Mm-hmm. Or you just go do something else with your time.
Yeah.
There's no fault in that, but there's a reason why 1% of the world wants the other 99% of it. And it's just whatever.
This has been awesome. We're like deep in this. Do we want to go to number 6?
Yeah, I do.
So we have 5 minutes because that guy's not with the door. 5 minutes. We have a meeting in here.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
You want to introduce it?
Cool.
Yes.
Last topic of discussion. Then we're going to wrap this up, even though this is probably going for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I love it. Weird shit in your free time. So that's how it's written down.
We'll just do
to put it in a layman's term, I'm guessing, what do you like to do in your free time?
Given that your free time is extremely limited,
right.
So you know that it's like...
I'll start. This is going to throw people off.
Go ahead.
We'll go around.
I am a closet diehard Star Trek fan.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
God.
I fall asleep to watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine every night.
Nice. Let's go around the room.
I watch Star Trek.
We don't have time to dive into these.
Star Trek.
Why? Okay. Fine.
I like space shit.
Judge Jay as you will.
Go ahead. You're up.
I like space.
I love the documentaries or the docuseries where people get busted for white collar crimes.
I love that.
Very niche.
Oh, yeah.
When people get busted for like insider trading.
Something that you guys would enjoy.
You need to listen to that docuseries that Tina said. Oh my God, it's so good.
Let me tell you something. If he knows what it is. It's called The Smartest Guys in the Room, the story of Enron.
That's what I need to watch.
Listen, we will watch it with you guys.
I need that. Actually,
I love it.
The girl of the docuseries that I'm telling you about she's the daughter of someone that worked in Enron.
I'm down to watch it. We can watch it like 3 times together already.
All right, 2 minutes. You guys go.
If it's TV shows, definitely The Office.
Classic.
What do you like to do? What weird shit do you do in your free time?
Watch The Office or Harry Potter.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. Okay.
Star Trek is weird.
Okay,
Harry Potter is mainstream.
My family owns a farm.
Okay.
We have goats, pigs.
Okay.
Cows, dogs, cats, everything. So I'm just like being outside with the animals, and they're all over the place. So it's pretty cool.
Okay,
nice.
I love taking baths.
Oh, so underrated.
So like it is just my only time that I can literally be by myself and just like think my own thoughts or listen to whatever the fuck I want to.
Right.
Is that weird though? Taking a bath? I think it's kind of nasty because I
just. Oh my God! It's not like I take a bath every day. You know?
No, just because I understand the science behind it now. You're really just bathing your own feet or your own dirt. But that's not weird. A lot of people take baths.
Well, will it help you if I say that I have to shower afterwards? Like
no, it's whatever you do.
Okay, you get it, right? It's like okay, so like you take a bath, you sit down. It's like all about like the relaxing experience.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you're sitting in your own dirt. Yeah. So I'm gonna like take a shower afterwards. I'm gonna get it off.
The warm water soothing.
Yes, and then you walk out and you're like literally like, okay, I can like do this and I can do whatever I want.
It's lovely.
Yeah. See, there we go.
Fair enough. Look at this guy.
Look
at this guy, Tim. You just want to come in
the last 30 seconds.
Am I crashing the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
I'm literally closing it out right now because like the
literally closing. So closing statements. What is it?
Closing statements. I mean, I think it was a very effective podcast. Based on the content that I'm sure everyone's getting educated. If you didn't listen, I hope you were taking notes. This is going to be a one-time podcast, so it won't be replayed ever again. You can download it that one time and it's done.
This is like a 2-hour podcast, man. This is really good stuff.
We had 2 people walk in the middle of it saying like, hey, we have this room. I'm like, you have it 6.
I feel like that happens. Like if you listen to like Joe Rogan's podcast, like people just crash it halfway through.
Kind of like you just did.
You're the third.
Yeah, right.
Catalina, don't edit this out. The viewing audience needs to experience what's happening right now.
You're right. Well, let's close this thing out before we get fully kicked out of here. If you hung in there with us, we certainly appreciate your time. We'll share the links to follow these guys online, Instagram and everywhere else. But another episode of Square Up with GraySquare in the books. Cheers.
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 Thanks guys.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Thank you.
Click.